The vaccination rollout across the country. As more and more doses go into arms, Canadians are wondering what that will mean for their daily lives. Can we go back to our normal routine? Do we still have to wear a mask or socially distance if we are recipients of the vaccine? We had a question from Stephen in Ontario. This is in keeping with our conversation with the co-founder of Moderna. And Stephen was wondering this, got his first dose, his second dose coming by the end of March. Once he's vaccinated, he's wondering if he is safe from COVID. Is it still possible to contract COVID and to spread it to others? Everyone is in the bubble, his bubble is vaccinated. Will that be the safest? These are the kinds of questions that are on Canadians' minds for sure. They're the kinds of questions Lauren Pelly has been looking into for us. She's live with us from Toronto. What changes? What happens post-vaccination? Lauren, can people spend time together?
Well, Heather, from what medical experts have told me, that would be the safest option if you're vaccinated, only spending time with others who are also vaccinated. And of course, it's very easy to imagine those scenarios happening after a long year where people are really, really ready to see their family and friends again. But there is some concern this can be a bit of a slippery slope where you eventually start to relax your personal rules and see some people indoors, maybe some people who are vaccinated and some people who aren't, leaving some of those people vulnerable to a COVID-19 infection. I spoke to one family doctor in Toronto who is now fully vaccinated herself, but still isn't going to see her parents in person anytime soon. Here's why.
Parents live here in Toronto. They're in their 60s. They own a small business and have been impacted, obviously, by the pandemic, as have so many other small businesses. And they've been waiting patiently for the vaccine. And we're finding out that it's not going to be until potentially July now. And it's hard because even though I'm vaccinated, this hasn't changed my behavior with them. It hasn't changed their ability to interact with their grandchildren, my kids. And, there's this real strong desire to be able to reconnect with the people that we love. And it hurts me to see, this year has gone by for my parents not being able to be with those that they love. And it's really hard.
It certainly is a common concern for Canadians, and tough to hear that even though, she's been vaccinated, things will not immediately go back to normal. What's the thinking behind that, Lauren?
Well, there are a few reasons why you can't just get your shots and then expect life to just bounce back to the way it was before. One is it takes time for that level of immunity, that level of protection to build up once you're fully vaccinated. It's not instant. Two, even though these vaccines are proving to be extremely effective at reducing serious illness and death, which is obviously a major win in our fight against COVID-19, they're not 100% effective. So you want to see more and more people in the community getting vaccinated to ensure there's less virus circulating in the first place. And three, scientists still aren't totally sure how much these shots will curb transmission of the virus. There's some early research and a lot of hope on this front, but researchers want to take more time to find out exactly what's going on. Because if you don't entirely stop people from spreading the virus to others, you could leave unvaccinated people at risk for many months ahead. Here's how one infectious disease specialist explained it to me.
What we want to do here is, you can't jump ahead of the gun and say, okay, you got a vaccine, you go back to normal, and you didn't get a vaccine, so you just wait. Because the reality is that those people who got vaccines could still be transmitting to those who didn't. And those who didn't include people who have certain medical conditions that doesn't at this moment prioritize them, but still weakens their immune system.
So what I've heard from everyone I spoke to is that we can expect public health precautions are going to stay in place for a bit longer. Masking, distancing, obviously just staying smart in your daily life, whether you're vaccinated or not. But I want to end things on a positive note because, as I said, we are seeing so much progress around the world in countries that are further along in their vaccination campaigns than we are. So even though it's going to take some time for Canada to play some catch up, I think there is a light at the end of the tunnel here. Heather?
Okay. Lauren, thank you very much for bringing that to us. Lauren Pelly in Toronto.